I I'm just pulling over. I've been on the road pretty much all day, but obviously I heard what happened in Pennsylvania. So I don't have all of the details and facts, of course, because like I said, I've just been on the road. So I'm just gonna give you my rapid fire reaction. Okay. As many of you know, I used to do Trump rallies. I've done probably 50, 60 of them. So I've been on both sides of the rally. I've been there as a spectator and I've been there as a member of the media. And the first thing that comes to mind for me is how in the hell can somebody get a weapon in there, let alone a gun? Because the way that they shake you down before you even get to go in there, as a spectator, you got to take everything out of your pockets, no bags. I think maybe clear bags is pretty much like if you were to go to the airport or even like a stadium. Um, and even when Trump was president, it was extremely hard to get anything in there. I mean, they would check, as members of the media, they would check everything in your backpack. You had to drop off all your stuff up front, and then they did media check, and then you had to leave for like 4 or 5 hours. Now, I don't know if it changed since he's not in the White House anymore, but I don't understand how the hell anybody gets any kind of weapon in one of those rallies. Um, because like I said, I've been there. As a member of the media, you can't, like, you have to leave everything. So, I say all that to say this was obviously an assassination attempt. Nobody showed up there to shoot a random Trump supporter. That wasn't some like drama that broke out in the crowd. Somebody was there to try to take this man out. Um, it baffles me. I'm just in shock right now, utter shock, because you know what? The very first Trump rally I ever did 4 years ago, actually around September, was in Butler, Pennsylvania. So I don't know what venue this was. I think at the time, the one we went to, the one we did, was at an airport hangar. So I don't know where this venue was, but I just remember the level of security detail was intense. So this is some kind of plant. And let me also say this, because I don't want to lose sight of this. I'm praying for anybody that was hurt there, that was shot or trampled or any kind of injury. I don't want that to get lost in it. Other people were injured. We don't know the extent of it. From what I've been able to see since I just pulled over and skimmed a few like headlines, is the shooter is dead. I totally get why that shooter is dead, but I wish that they could have brought him in alive, or her, whoever it was, or they them, if you think about it, right? Whoever that person was that fired the gun, I want to know who sent them, who paid for them, how they got in there. I mean, there need to be a full-blown investigation, waterboarding, whatever you got to do to get some information out of this person. But who knows if we'll ever know what happened. It's just, man, I don't really know what to say, you guys. They have nothing else. That's really all I can say. They have nothing else. This is their last resort. This is their last resort. They can't win on policy. They can't win on culture. They can't win on just ideas that people will rally behind. So their candidate, who ironically I was going to make a whole different live stream about him today, just about Biden and how they're stuck with him. Biden needs to stay in this race. I support Biden staying in the race, because the people who voted for him, the people who put him there, they need to suffer. You made your bed, now sleep, right? But they have nothing else except this decrepit old man who's corrupt and fallen apart mentally. That's what they have. So only thing they can do is try to take out the opposition. If they were successful, and thank God they were not, we would officially be some type of third world country, because that's where that happens at. Third world countries is where the political opposition gets jailed, assassinated. It literally happens in other countries. It's happened in too many countries to name. African countries, Middle Eastern countries. I feel like even recently they took out opposition leader, maybe in like Haiti or somewhere in the Caribbean. It's insane. But this is the state that the United States is in. I have no doubt, Trump is only going to come back stronger from this. His support is only going to be stronger from this. If you ask me, he should stop holding rallies. They need to be virtual rallies. He needs to get back in that White House. And the only way I think he can get back in there without them trying to take him out, because clearly there's some chinks in the armor. Secret Service. I mean, how the hell did this happen? He needs to protect this man at all costs. He needs to do virtual rallies, some other type of rally. I mean, shit, if that were you, would you want to go back out there? I get why he probably will go back out there, but we're all going to be waiting with bated breath, like hoping that everything is good. You would think at a rally, and again, I've been to 50, 60, probably 70 rallies in a short period of time. You would think that's a safe place for anybody, even if somebody is there that doesn't agree or they don't like Trump, because that's happened. You've had protesters there. You've had people try to shout down the president, try to be, hecklers, I guess you call them that. You've had them all the time. But guess what? They go through the same security screening as people who are there to support Trump. So how, again, does somebody get through security with a gun? Because they sweep the whole area. I'm assuming we're going to find out more information. I don't know what information to trust, really, because certainly the mainstream media, I don't trust anything they say. Like, they probably barely even covered the rally. I don't think they're covering the rallies the way they were when he was president, of course. So who was really there that's going to report the right thing? Just a little bit of headlines that I've seen so far is they're talking about possible shots fired and some loud pops. Like, really? The man had blood on him. I saw him look over and grab his neck, and then, he had blood on him. That wasn't some pop. That wasn't some fireworks. And again, even if that were, how does it get inside of a rally? Oh, man. It's crazy, man. This is surreal. It's been on my mind ever since I heard about it. And funny thing is, you guys know, I live in Minnesota now. I'm about, I want to say 10, 15 miles from the Wisconsin border. I was actually just over in Wisconsin, and I was on my way back, and I saw a man over the highway on one of the overpasses on the bridges, and he's up there in a pickup truck, and he has a Trump flag. He's waving his Trump flag up there. And I thought to myself, man, I sure do miss those rallies and those flag waves down in Florida. But you never see anybody with a Trump flag out here, ever. So, like a crazy person, I get off the highway and I go, like, navigate, try to find that bridge, go back, talk to the guy. His name's Bill. He's like an older gentleman, and he's up there by himself. And I said, hey, Bill, nice to meet you. Why are you out here today? Does it have to do with what happened at the rally? He's like, yep, you know what? I've been around for 73 years, and I've never seen somebody hate the president as much as they hate Trump. I mean, he could be doing anything else, especially as a billionaire. He could be doing anything else, but he wants to do this. And he had a look on his face and almost like a vibe or energy to him that he's feeling kind of sad about it. But at the same time, he's out there with his flag and he wants to show his support. So I went up there to just shake his hand. He was up there by himself. It wasn't like a busy bridge over the highway. It's one of those like country roads. But just, you guys, man, like, I don't even know what to say, y'all. Other than bring on the election, bring on November, and find out. I want to find out how this happened. How was the gun already planted there? Was there was it an inside job? I mean, yeah. Got to find out more about the shooter. Again, the fact that the shooter is they killed him, it makes sense. I get it. But if they could have took him in alive, that would be way better. Get as much information as possible. Like a movie. Honestly, like a movie. Bring him in, interrogate him, turn up the heat in the room, find out everything. Who sent him? Who paid for it? Is it Biden paid for? But I think we all know. I mean, there was all talks about, the only thing left they can do to try to beat Trump, because indicting him didn't work, Russia collusion didn't work, all the smears, all the fear mongering, Agenda 2025, none of it's working. None of it. calling him a felon. They don't even call him a felon anymore because it doesn't work. Nobody cares. So their last resort is to try to take the man out. And they literally tried to do it today. And even then they failed. So they failed at their last resort. So bring on November, bring on the election. Let's go. Yes, please hit that like button. Thank you, Sean. I forgot about that. Likes weren't even on the top of my mind, but I appreciate it. You guys know this channel's been shadow banned, demoted, everything for the past, 3-4 years. Really, even before that, because I had this channel, back in like 2017, 2018. I reached a growth, and then they just started, shadow ban censoring. But nonetheless, I appreciate everybody that is tuned in right now. But yes, please give it a thumbs up. Please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. The FBI planted the shooter. I'm sure conspiracy theories are going to just fly. They're going to fly. There's going to be a lot of talk about it. Oh, this, I heard that, this person, that person. I just hope everybody got out of there okay. I'm thankful that Trump is okay. Honestly, even if I didn't, even if a person does not like Trump, you should not wish death on somebody else, because you know what? You got to speak life, because it'll come back on you. Man, so crazy. And these people, I don't understand for the life of me how somebody gets in there with a gun, how a gun is there, and how they were, it doesn't make sense. Some doesn't add up. Some doesn't add up. You know what's surprising is I'm reading the chat here. People say that they're surprised to see me. Like, Mike, I'm shocked to see you. You know why? One, I have not been making content. Right? I've been very busy taking care of my family. I've moved around the country. Now I'm not in Florida anymore. I've been in 3 states in the past 2 years. So that's part of it. The other part is when I actually do go live, when I actually do make videos, it gets hidden. It's as simple as that. It's not recommended. It's not promoted. It's completely and utterly shadow banned. See, the only way you're ever going to see my content really is if you are subscribed and you have the notifications turned on. So that's what you need to do. If you are subscribed and you want to see my content, because as I said last week when I did a live stream, I will be doing more videos as we lead up to the election, more live streams. I mean, we're already on a roll here, 2 in 2 weeks. So if you want to see my content, the only way to know when I'm going live or if I'm making a video is you have to be subscribed and you have to hit the notification. That's it. And you should be notified, but even then you may not get notified. But you know what, another thing I just don't get, just kind of shifting gears away from the shooting, because obviously I wasn't there, so I don't have all the details of what happened. I don't understand how there are still undecided voters in the country. You know how they talk about, like, oh yeah, you have the percentage of undecided voters, independent, swing voters. How make it make sense? How are there people in 2024 that are undecided on if they want border security, if they want lower taxes, if they want interest rates to come down, if they want their money to be spent here, their tax dollars spent here versus sent over to Ukraine? How are people undecided? Oh, I don't know if I want a better overall country. I'm undecided. And I would love to go to all those undecided people and ask them, if you had to choose, give them an ultimatum, do you choose status quo or do you choose to vote for Trump? Which would you choose? Do you choose status quo and everything that comes along with it? Homelessness, crime, fentanyl coming across the border, high interest rates, people can't buy houses, people can't sell houses, everyone's in a holding pattern. Would you choose that? Would you actively choose that because you have Trump derangement syndrome? It's not healthy. I just want to know what people choose, because it boggles the mind. I get it. People have fallen for the propaganda. The like I said, it's like North Korea style propaganda, the way they try to convince the public that Joe Biden, oh, he's got his wits about him. Look at him. Like they do with Kim Jong-un. Look at him out there commanding the military. He's never been more spry. He's with it. That's what they're saying about Biden. And of course, they're going to circle wagons around him. They're some of them are starting to backtrack. Yeah, he's asking questions. He's playing chess in the back room. He's solving quadratic equations. He's a stable genius. Just, I guess some people have fallen for that and they believe it. But after the debate, I don't know how you can believe it. But you know what? The people that want him to step down, no, you don't get to. You don't get that. I think Biden needs to absolutely stay in there. I hope and pray that Biden stays in there because apparently people haven't felt enough pain. You haven't felt enough pain. I mean, think back, go back to 2019, right? When you had those Democrat primaries. You guys remember that? The clown car, everyone just threw their name in the hat like, so, we're all going to run for president. Literally every Democrat ran for president, it seemed like. But if you think about that, right? Think about the debate stage. You had Marianne Williamson up there. You had Pete Buttigieg up there. You had Andrew Yang. You had Tulsi Gabbard. You had a ton of different Democrat options that they could have nominated. I'm not saying I liked them or would have supported them, of course, but they chose to nominate the oldest, most corrupt politician on stage. So they made their bed, they got to sleep in it. They knew back then that he would be in this situation right now. And now that he's in this situation, they're like, oh no, Trump needs to, or Biden needs to step down. Come on. Come on. No. You made your bed, now sleep. That's the situation. You chose him, ride it out. I mean, literally, they had everybody. Julian Castro, Cory Booker. I mean, there's like 40 Democrats that they could have chose, but they chose him. They chose that guy. And not only that, his running mate, he chose, he's a bad decision maker. He chose Kamala Harris as his running mate. Sorry. That's what you guys get. We've got this guy out here talking about the president of Ukraine, Putin. Oh, no, wait. We want to beat Putin. I'm focused on beating Putin. Yeah, he's focused on everything but the country, is what I heard when he said that. I mean, everything, dude. Calling Trump as vice president. I mean, y'all, if you voted for Biden, that's your boy. Stick with him. Don't change horses mid-race. No, you got to ride this out. Sorry. I don't want to hear nobody complain about gas prices, groceries, nothing. If you supported him and if you continue to support him, you voted for him, that's on you. That's on you. I mean, you're going to follow the lies of the media. My democracy. We got to get Trump out. We can't let Trump in there. Pathetic, man. But I'm going to be wrapping this up. You guys, I think what I'll be doing is keeping, like, I don't know when I'll be making videos, like pre-recorded videos, but live streams are going to be like this, just kind of on the fly, just when I have some on my mind, when there's something going on, and I'll keep them shorter so that way people are more likely to click on them and watch them, because we all know what it's like to see a video. It's like an hour and a half long. You may only watch a few minutes if you even click on it. I want people to watch it all the way through, so I'll keep it under 20 minutes. Like, we got a few minutes to go. Let me give a few shout outs to the moderators, the people out there to support this channel. Shout out to Charles Turner, man, my guy. He's been supporting me for a long time. Luciano, appreciate you supporting me. Sean M, my guy, appreciate you guys. Mama Ames in there. I realized in my last stream, Mama Ames, I didn't mean to say, oh, I forgot about you. It's just like, it's been so long since I've done one of these and seen all the supporters that I have. So, but I appreciate you being in here. Appreciate all you guys. How's Minnesota for conservatives? I'll be honest with you. Minnesota's pretty chill. I mean, there's a ton of liberals up here. It's a very blue state. Hasn't voted Republican since, I think, Nixon in 72, which all that means to me is they're due. They're due. Minnesota's due. And Minnesota is not as blue as Colorado, because Colorado isn't really considered a swing state. Minnesota is technically not a swing state because it hasn't voted both directions, but Minnesota is now a toss-up state. I mean, Trump was very close in 2016. He is very close to winning it this year. So, I say all that to say, you get outside of the Twin Cities, the greater Minneapolis, St. Paul, you actually, even if when you get out to the suburbs, it gets red pretty quick. It gets less liberal, I'll tell you that. You go into the inner city, like you go into Minneapolis, St. Paul, you're going to see rainbow flags, you see BLM signs, and you know that virtue signaling sign, or it's like, in this house no human is illegal, and blah, like those signs to just say, look at me, I'm sanctimonious, look at how much I care. Those signs. Once you get out to the burbs, you don't see that. It's few and far between. And then when you get out, it gets red real quick. Just like most states. You go to Illinois, you get outside Chicago, it's pretty red. So Minnesota's not bad. Honestly, it's a beautiful state. There's great people here. The food is fantastic. There's a couple conservatives out here. If you guys ever want to get together out here, if you're in the Twin Cities metropolitan area, or if you're down south, or even if you're across the border, because I'm not far from Wisconsin. From where I'm sitting right now, I could get to Wisconsin in 12 minutes, pretty close. Um, I would love to get together. I don't know how we can congregate out here, because it's not like Florida where you just can go wave some flags on the street corner. I suppose you could, but it's probably not safe. It's not nearly as safe. But Minnesota's cool. I think what's his name? Tyler Zed's Education. He's out here. There's a guy, a former athlete, I think his name slips my mind. Put it in the chat if you know who he is. But I guess he's running for some kind of political office out here. I've been kind of out of the loop. How's Duluth? Duluth is phenomenal. That city is really beautiful. Right up there on Lake Superior. You got the North Shore up there. Nice big bluffs and cliffs overlooking the lake. I almost called it ocean. It's pretty much like an ocean. You can't see across it with the curvature of the earth. It's really big. It's beautiful. Very beautiful. And you guys know, if you guys have been following me for years, you know that I used to live in Minnesota, like from 2013 to 2017. And it's kind of crazy, because the last time I lived in Minnesota, like the last year that I was here, was 2016. And of course, that was the year that Prince died. You had the election. You had a lot of things going on in the country that actually sparked my awakeness. That's how I started to like see what was going on in the country, start doing my own research, start digging. I found Anthony Brian Logan at that time. I found Brandon Tatum. I found a lot of conservative channels, because I was trying to figure out, like, why did people vote for Trump? I can't believe this. Because at the time, I was still actually watching CNN. I watched the election coverage on CNN. But anyway, I was like looking at it, and I was thinking like, oh my gosh, the country might be in bad shape with Trump. You know, I didn't like Hillary, but I was actually looking for Rand Paul. I was looking forward to Rand Paul being the guy. But anyway, I saw that Trump won, and I was like, you know what? Let me see what information I can find out about why people support him. The first thing I found was Anthony Brian Logan, a black man, that said he voted for Trump, and he told me why in his video. And I was like, that makes sense. I agree with that. Next thing you know, that's all it takes is your one little moment. So anyway, that's what happened when I was living in Minnesota the first time. Now fast forward 8 years later, here I am in Minnesota, another election year, Trump on the ballot. Much more awake and aware now than I was then. You know what's really funny is the less aware that I was politically, socially, everything, economically, the less aware I was, the more I thought I might align with Democrats. How does that work? We know exactly how it works. That's why they target college campuses. That's why they want kids to vote. They want to lower the voting age to 16, because they have to prey on people who don't know better. It's true. Why do they target the youth? Why? How come the older you get, the more you understand about taxes and the government, and you know, you start looking at things, you're like, oh, I don't think I want government to grow, you know? So anyway, I'm getting long-winded here, guys. I got to wrap this up, get home. I got to see Roman before he goes to bed. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you. God bless all the super chatters. God bless the moderators, everyone that supports this channel. If you have not yet, give this a thumbs up. Please give it a thumbs up, share it, get it in front of other people. If you want to see more of my content, you gotta turn the notification notifications on, man. That's the only way you're gonna see it. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, this is insane, shocking. I cannot believe that we're sitting here talking about how our president, soon to be president, was dodged an assassination attempt today, literally hours ago, in a state that he's now gonna win by probably double-digit points. Absolutely, positively, mark it. So, I mean, I guess they better start printing those ballots now. Maybe they just got some left over from 2020, but they're going to need some more ballots if they plan on pulling some malarkey, to quote old Joe, pulling some malarkey on election night. Mike Niv said, do you still have ways to donate to you? Yes. If you go into the description of this video, there's links to my PayPal, my Cash App. I think my Venmo is in there. I don't have a P.O. box anymore, but there's links in there where you can donate. You can also super chat here, but then YouTube gets a piece of it. So if you just donate, click one of those links, I'll get it directly. But I appreciate you. God bless you guys. I will catch you in the next stream.